Flowers and Bizouns in here as well. So we're going to get to see them. But we are getting game number 2 started, and we can see that initial break. Anything catching your eye, Squiggle Poof?
A lot of players are up north more. I feel like the safe zone is going to be a more northern safe zone, maybe like Harris Bluffs safe zone. That'd be awesome to see.
You're going to predict maybe a Harris Bluffs as the safe zone? Okay, well, we will have to see with this initial break. Players falling all over the place here. We're going to have to see if anyone gets close enough for that early fight. We saw those rain out in that last game. We're going to see Frankie here as well again. Frankie in a pretty good position. But first, we are going to kick things off. Jumping on with Sloppy Old Tuna. Sloppy Old Tuna initially going to be able to grab this Jeep, start things off right into the POI, getting a full kit started off here, gets that helmet to start things off as well.
Yep, helmet, AK, I mean, he's set, he's ready to fight.
And now jumping back into that vehicle, we are going to see that there are some players that look like Delta was in the wings, maybe got eyeline on Sloppy Old Tuna, but no reason to fight just yet. Now rotating around, trying to get kitted up just a little bit more, but like you already mentioned, Sloppy Tuna has pretty much everything that you really need to have here.
Yeah, he could take out anyone, especially like this early in the game when not everyone's looted. Yeah, Subchucks doesn't even have a helmet yet, so.
Yeah, Subchucks, though, does have...
And Traditions takes out Smokeless. First kill of the game.
We do see that first kill coming out right now. Subchucks is going to have the protection right now of being inside of a building, but as you mentioned, not quite as kitted as some of the other players. Now jumping on with Lexi, Chaotic. Finally going to get that helmet there.
Yeah, she's another one. I hope she does really well in this game. I mean, I see her in Fives games all the time, and she is a slayer at this game, so...
Yeah, now really the main thing for Lexi here, probably trying to find some different weapons, trying to get a more varied portfolio there. And now we're going to jump on into a fight, and we are going to see some shots raining out right now. Looks like Chuck able to get a few in, but just like that, it looks like trying to find an eyeline here, not able to get the shots in early. We are absolute on the body armor of Chuck.
Yeah. And Chuck bleeding a little bit. He's probably going to go hide and heal. Oxens know he's hurt. He should totally push him. I just want to see some action. Like.
Yeah, Ox being very passive here, not maybe wanting to go for that fight early. There is quite a lot on the line. I mean, there is no additional incentive to go for early kills, right? I think a big thing here too, maybe if you do play it a little bit safe, get that early damage in, try to attach just a little bit, maybe try to pop off the helmet, but just like that, Ox going to put in a few more shots onto Chuck. Still holding good positioning here. Chuck just retreating more and more, not getting too much of a push in of his own. We do see Ox taking a little bit of damage here, maybe one shot. Does not have a body armor, so shots to the body could be a little bit dangerous, but does still have that helmet on. Chuck has a helmet of his own, and it looks like Chuck going to be able to heal up there.
Traditions takes out somebody else too. That's his second kill.
Traditions just being an absolute slayer here, having both of those kills right now. 73 players still do remain.
Yep, there he is. Oh, he landed at the 8 Mile. That's a very popular landing spot too. And he has a car, and he's fully looted, so yeah, he's looking really good this game.
What is it about this landing position that you like so much that does make it one of these more popular landing positions?
There's usually 2 car spawns here. They have the cop car spawn and then a truck spawn. So I mean, usually there's going to be 1 or 2 in the game. Also, it's a very popular spot, so if you want to land and get kills, then this is the place to land, because there's going to be a ton of people coming here like at the beginning of the game.
And we got to watch that one-on-one for just a little bit there, but it looks like ultimately Ox is able to cut down Chuck, and now Sloppy Old Tuna going to be right near Symmetry here. Joker Symmetry inside of the house, pretty good kit of their own, not having that makeshift yet, not having any body armor, but he's going to find Sloppy Old Tuna. They are engrossed in that 1v1 right now. A few shots do rain out. The vehicle going to move down to 87. Now Symmetry going to potentially get into a car of his own. He's going to have that cop car. That's going to be absolutely massive for any future fights. That's going to serve in the late game as really good cover as well. You can put shots over it. You're also going to get that additional cover. Yeah, obviously you have the car, but you also have the lights on top of the cop car. That's going to be just that much better.
Yeah.
Cone of Cool here behind the tree, taking some shots into QT Cucumber. Beautiful shots raining on out. Could probably finish this one here, even at far range. Just looking for that last one to finish it off here. QT Cucumber gets behind the tree. Now it's on Cone of Cool, trying to decide whether they will push in or not. Rotating around here, looks like they won't get too aggressive. Now jumping on board with Cucumber, seeing it from the scarier end of this engagement, trying to decide how to play out this fight.
Yeah.
And now Cone of Cool still with an onslaught of shots, going to connect yet again. QT Cucumber still hanging out, trying to heal up.
Yeah, it's not looking good for QT right now. I mean, he only has an SMG. He's half health right now. Cone hasn't scared.
This is not exactly the position you want to be with that weapon loadout. Just like that, we are going to see Cooler Vision is going to get cut down, and we are going to see Sabra try to get that loop there, looking relatively safe. Now Cone of Cool putting in some more shots, has lost some of the initial lead that was gained on Cucumber in that first fight, but now moving closer and closer through these trees, trying to close the gap yet again. We'll have to see what Cone of Cool decides to trade out. Sleet's going to be brought down in the wings, and now Cone of Cool trying to get those final shots in.
Yep. Yeah, I don't see this going well for QT. I mean, he's going to have to do something amazing. I mean, they both have shotguns.
And we know just how explosive that shotgun can really be in one of these situations. You can see leads evaporate. QT just needs to be pushed down. And we are going to see Cone of Cool coming out on top there. Had the advantage pretty much that whole fight.
Yeah.
Plays it very safe to bring him down. And we jump on right in time to see Smokeless Panda brought down by Mr. D.
Yeah, just getting sprayed down by Mr. D.
Mr. D right now is going to be able to get some body armor out of that engagement as well. We already saw Symmetry was able to get that cop car a little bit earlier, now taking some long-range shots. And this goes to that war of attrition that we've talked about before. Not necessarily going to do any crazy damage, but sinking a little bit into its K5.
Yeah, it's definitely important to take out cars, especially for the later game. If you have a car, then you're going to be just have all the maneuver, and you'll be able to control the fights you're in. So taking out cars is really important.
We are going to get a peek at that ring very soon here. It's going to start to get much tighter, but already a lot of players taking relatively aggressive routes. We've already seen Lexi Chaotic a little bit earlier on in this match. We do see a pretty good loadout on the side of Lexi Chaotic, taking some of those long-range shots. We do see Microwave now retreating back into this city.
Yeah.
Little Chuns here moving around the landscape, maybe looking for this fight, but we are going to see Zoltan able to get out of here without a problem.
Yeah.
Still relatively low, taking about 25 damage. Now, they have quite a lot of distance between them, but we need to see Little Chuns here try to actually get in a position to not be just exposed. And right now we are going to see Loco is also, it has a potential eye line.
Yeah, Little Chuns doesn't even know he's there. And thanks for dying, chasing down a Neverland van.
And we are going to see Neverland as well, just with a crazy driving tactic going there, but thanks for dying. Not going to be hot in pursuit. You know, a lot of times we will see the cop car decide to contest a fight like that, but right now not going to go for it.
Yeah, I think you just wanted to scare him a little.
Yeah, and hey, sometimes that can be a really good thing to do. I know you get in a position like that, you get someone a little bit spooked, they drive off in the wrong direction and find themselves in a less than ideal fight, and sometimes go down. Now with we're going to Loco so low.
Extremely low. Wow. Oh yeah, it's not looking good. Nade comes out. Oh, that would have been amazing if he took him out with that nade. But Loco going down to Viz.
Loco goes for the Hail Mary there. Viz though going to be able to just do what needs to be done. A pretty straightforward kill coming out from Viz, and on top of that, Viz gonna have that kill in his pocket, but has a very good loadout, and also is going to have that cop car, which is going to be really important later on. Mr. D going to pick up another kill here. This is his second. We are down to 65 players. The first 10 have already been sent home.
Yeah, and this is before the first, the safe zone's moving, but it's not even done yet, so this is even before the first, or the second safe zone.
This has been a very fast-paced one here, and it seems like we've already kind of moved into that middle portion of the game. Microwave going to pick up a kill on Pimp of God, or sorry, I didn't even catch that name.
Pimp of God.
Interesting name.
Yeah.
We are going to see Tommy Guns now moving around in the Jeep. Any players standing out to you though so far? We've already seen quite a few Slayers getting more than one kill.
Yeah. There's been a few people. Traditions taking out the first two people. That was actually pretty impressive.
Whew.
Cone.
Absolutely blown out of the water there. Impressive kill coming in from Hexo, looking like he's absolutely bulletproof. We can see, though, his body armor is going to be one shot right now, going to need to find a different one as he moves forward in the late game, but now Smokeless 10 going to be relatively low on health as well, and gets cut down without a problem by Dark Teen Paint.
Yeah, that's why it's important to have a car. Dark Teen Paint was able to get around him from his tree hiding spot and just take him down.
now moving on in here, we are going to see X King get another kill up on this board. This one has been a high octane match, already down to just 60 players.
Yeah.
If you're just tuning in though, want to remind you we started with 75 players in this match. The top 10 going to move on to Sunday to compete for $50,000 in prize pool, and there's going to be an additional kill bonus as well. Now we mentioned Flowers is one of those players to be keeping an eye on. Flowers definitely a person of interest. For anyone who's not familiar with Flowers, what do you think that they should really know?
Flowers, I mean, he is a slayer at this game. He has a 10.7% top 10 finish rate. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, that is quite an impressive stat indeed. Yeah. Now, Thanks for Dying. You've mentioned that you've played against Thanks for Dying quite a few times before. We are going to see Thanks for Dying inside of the cop car. And how do you think this positioning so far is going to bode for Thanks for Dying?
He's looking good so far. I mean, he's staying away from all the fights. He's on the edge of the map on the south side. So yeah, he's looking good.
Are there any scenarios in particular that you've seen Thanks for Dying really shine in before?
Thanks for Dying? No.
We are going to see Class right now get quite a few shots out into that wooded area. Not able to get too much damage done, but just like that, we've actually already seen Sabra pick up a kill. Now moving in here on Hot Pursuit, just 1 HP for Pelly.
Hopefully you get a bandage on. Oh no, he bled out.
Yeah, it's just one of those scenarios where there isn't much you can do there, and now the ring is going to be collapsing. We do see that center point. It looks like it is going to be Cranberry. Mommy jumping onto that ATV. Mommy, you got to get out of there. We are going to see behind the rock right now. Rupee now going to be the player that we are on board with. Another cop car. And we've kind of seen all the players inside of those police cars really excelling throughout the entirety of this matchup. Rupee scooching on over, trying to get a little bit aggressive here, trying to find a good line onto Rev. We do see those shots come out. Not much coming out of them yet. Charlie going to be cut down here by Tommy Guns. Rupee now trying to get into a fight. Right on the edge of the gas as well.
And no shots connecting yet, but
just like that. Yeah, armor going to be popped off here, and that's going to be enough to scare Rupee. Rupee getting back into that cop car. It doesn't look like Revs is going to try to get more aggressive, but Rupee jumping right out of that cop car before even getting more body armor and trying to get more shots into Rev. Rev doesn't necessarily want this fight, even though Rev has gotten some good shots in, but Rupee trying to stay aggressive. Now actually going to invest that throwable. Going to try to move in here now that that very thick smoke is down. Should be able to get in without an eye line being found by Rev. Rotating actually around the smoke. We are going to see Rev dancing quite well away from this fight, keeping that cover and really playing the smoke to Rev's advantage, even though Rupee was the one to initially throw out that smoke. And now looking right now with Ox, we saw Ox a little bit earlier pick up a kill, engaged in a fight with Dark Team Pain, who is another person who was able to pick up one of those early eliminations. Only 57 players here are going to be remaining, and now we're taking a look at SWAT Legend on top of the hill, going to be able to ring some serious shots in, connecting with Tuk Tuk. Tuk Tuk doesn't have the body armor, but neither does Swag. Only about one shot up ahead is going to be SWAT Legend, and just like that, they are still going to go for this fight. Tuk Tuk does have the tree, SWAT going to have this hill.
Yeah, and Tuk Tuk was able to throw in a medkit too, so hopefully SWAT will stop and heal, but doesn't look like he's going to. He just wants to fight.
Just definitely trying to keep eye onto Tuk Tuk. Tuk Tuk now ahead in this fight. Tuk Tuk moving in throughout the trees, and just like that, Ninja going to be able to get in here, try to get this pinch. SWAT able to snap onto him and actually be leading now in this fight, but he still does have his eyes onto Tuk Tuk, trying to collapse in onto his target. But Tuk Tuk from the tree should be able to get these shots out. SWAT Legend getting dangerously low here. Now rotating around is SWAT Legend, trying to finish this one off. He is low in this fight. Will he be able to pull it out just like that? Tuk Tuk going to be able to cut him down. Ninja Drop was the player who was attempting to pinch here. He is quite far from Tuk Tuk, but now can assume the location of that player. Ninja Dropout should have plenty of time to heal up before getting in another fight. We are going to see right now air supply going to be coming down, and we already talked about some of the different things that can pop up into that airdrop, Squiggle Poof.
Yeah, so you can get a hunting rifle, which is an amazing gun to have, or you can get a laminate body armor, which is a 2-hit armor, and it's definitely worth getting. But there is a downfall to going for that drop, because there's a green smoke that shows everyone where it is, so it's going to be very contested. And also, it has oh, wow.
A really nice shot going to come out there. It's K5 going to make light work getting his first kill, but now we're going to put our attention back on to that airdrop. You already mentioned the hunting rifle. Lammy also going to be important. Ninja Dropout going to be taken down. That was the player that we saw go for that pinch just a little bit earlier. We're going to jump up. Sloppy Old Tuna, we haven't seen you in a little while. We saw you at the beginning of the game, and we also are going to see Zoltan right now engaged in that fight. But as you already mentioned, before it gets too far away from us, that airdrop is very dangerous to go for.
Oh, yeah,
because even though it has those big ticket items inside of it, approaching it is going to draw attention of other players, and you're most likely going to have to be engaged in a fight for it. A lot of players opting to not necessarily go for the loot inside, but positioning themselves very well, looking at it, getting some good vision, and actually just trying to drain some shots into players who are trying to get that loot, being a little bit greedy. Right now we are going to see Zoltan still engaged in this fight with Sloppy Old Tuna. Both of them in a pretty good position here, but we'll say Sloppy Old Tuna appears to be slightly ahead, having that body armor. Zoltan going to try to keep his body safe
Shadow
with that
pushing
rock.
on Kyrie. No, very low health, 30 health. Hopefully he can finish this out. Loses a helmet, but he's able to take out Kyrie.
Just like that, we are going to be back on board with Zoltan. We're starting to see that kill feed light up very early here. Only 52 players are going to remain. Now inside of the truck is Zoltan. Trying to move around, still doesn't have body armor.
Oh, crossover is taking out Neverland Man with a headshot with an AK. And we have Rev Holmes again. Holmes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Rev kind of been in these situations nonstop, not necessarily being an aggressive player, but getting just collapsed on over and over again. I do really respect Rev in this position, showing a huge amount of discipline, never getting greedy, never taking those fights in a situation, maybe even when he does feel like he has the upper hand, Rev just kind of sitting back, waiting patiently.
Exactly.
Wants to try to hit that top 10. Now we are going to see that POI, not even going to jump out of the cop car there, feeling relatively confident with the kit. Now T-Rain's going to be able to get some shots in here to Masick. But moving on down the hill, going to try to maybe get into an engagement with some of the other players that we did see. Thanks for Dying. Now, we've already talked about Thanks for Dying. You've actually played against Thanks for Dying quite a few times. Going to be a little bit defensive here, moving that cop car behind the hill.
Yeah, he took a few shots and didn't land any, so yeah, I would definitely play it a little bit safer.
Yeah, you
heal up.
Yeah, you don't want to be in that position there where you're not necessarily hitting your shots, and then on top of that, if you take too many shots into the cop car, it's going to become a way less valuable resource as we approach a little bit later into the game, as we do see this gas advancing now.
Yeah, he's going to want to save that cop car. He can do a lot of work with it, so definitely save the cop car.
Yeah, the more... Ooh, just like that, we're going to jump on to see Flowers take out Bizounce, and it's funny to actually see it go down like that, because we pointed both of them out as players that we really wanted to pay attention to. Well, we've seen quite a bit of Rev, though. Do want to note, qualified into the Invitational last year, so this is not entirely a new face. We've already seen just what Rev can do, but now jumping on with Reigns, going to get cut down here by Symmetry.
Yep, the AK. Yeah, that's a deadly weapon to have. I would love to get my hands on an AK.
Yeah, we are seeing just how much that weapon can get done here. 2
HP. Hopefully you can get a bandage or a med kit on. Something to hang in there.
And this is just how incredible that smoke can be, though. We actually did see Dark Team Paint hang on for quite some time there, because it's just impossible for Crossover to find the shot. But he just lets quite a few rain out, invests quite a lot of ammo, and is able to find that kill. Now A1 Supreme, you already talked about just how aggressive A1 Supreme can be. Not getting a kill yet here, but looking very strong.
Yeah, he landed a few shots on Shadow, but wasn't able to take him out, and Shadow just did not want to take that fight, so...
Now, just like that, we are starting to see through these binoculars right now. You got some low players that can potentially move into the crosshairs of some of these more healthy players. Sloppy Old Tuna, we've been on board with since the very beginning, still not getting a kill. We are seeing that the vehicle has taken a considerable amount of damage, but what does this ring spell to you? What do you expect to see in the late portions of this game? How do you think we're going to close this one out?
Definitely going to see a lot of people camping on top of the roofs in Cranberry. I mean, that's probably the safest place to be if you don't want to get taken out and you want to land that top 10. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure if it's going to land on Cranberry, end in Cranberry, but I do see a lot of people sitting on top of the roofs waiting to get that top 10.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things too, and we actually saw this with Blorn in the last game, and just like that, we are going to see the kill feed lighting up. Symmetry is going to go down. That was one of the players that we actually did see get some kills a little bit earlier on, but when we actually look back to the last game, Qualifier #1 of this championship series, we saw some of the players who were actually trying to hold those early positions, like Blorn, and getting in them early, making sure that they had them, and if the gas went their way, so be it, and they would have that advantage, but still being able to adapt in the later portions. I expect to see things like that go down when we actually do get to Cranberry. Some of the players actually starting to get those positions early, and if they need to adapt, so be it. They can retreat off. Just like that, we are going to see Pat and Ark be going down. Super Chucks now looking to be in a commanding position right on the line of the smoke.
Yeah, Flowers taking out Spanky as well. Oh,
Ooh.
the hunting rifle. Oh, yes.
This is always something that can be very exciting. What is it about the hunting rifle that makes it just so dangerous, Squigglepoof?
I mean, the hunting rifle, it's a 2-shot kill to the body and then 1 shot to the head. And getting a headshot with the hunting rifle is probably just the most amazing sound you could possibly hear. I love that sound so much. Yeah,
you can hear that crack rain out through the map, and it is one of those things that I know Supersonic likes to say really does put the fear in you. But now we're going to jump on with this fight. Superchuck trying to keep that cover from the trees. He is going to fall down, though, from Shadowmatic. Shadowmatic bleeding out here, going to try to heal himself up so he doesn't fall and trade out on that kill. And it looks like we are going to see Shadowmatic live to fight another day, getting back inside of that Jeep. Looks like his location has not been exposed. He looks relatively safe here.
Oh, Traditions with the hunting rifle. Oh, yes.
Yeah, so we are going to see Traditions is able to get that out of that airdrop, and instant work getting done with that hunting rifle.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him with the hunting rifle.
We'll have to see how much more can get done with that hunting rifle. Now back on board with Crossover. Looking at Zoltan, we haven't seen Zoltan in quite some time, but we have seen quite a lot out of Crossover. This player already putting 2 kills onto the board. We only have 39 players remaining, but Crossover wants to be the one to take them out.
Yep, I think he could do it. Crossovers is a very good player. Oh, Sloppy Old Tuna dying to the explosions. That's why you don't go for drops sometimes. I mean, you never know where the explosions are going to come from.
In qualifier number 1, we also saw a player go down to the explosion, so we've already seen just how deadly that can be. Now Flowers inside of the cop car. You've already mentioned just how impressive Flowers can be with that 10.71% top 10 finish rate. A pretty crazy stat that now have lurking in my head, but Crossover, probably the most aggressive player that we've seen throughout this entire match, finds himself in a position to potentially put some shots into Microwave. He goes for them, but Microwave going to just retreat, already knowing how dangerous Crossover can be. But just like that, Mommy gonna go down, and X-King as well. Only 36 players remain. Crossover getting a little bit aggressive there. We actually do see that police car takes a considerable amount of damage. It is going to be that's going to be bad. That's part of the war of attrition that really can matter as we move into the later portions of the game.
Yeah, car is definitely important, especially when you get like later in the game, smaller safe zone.
Shots coming out right now from Flowers. Not able to get the kill with like easily trying to rotate again around, and finally is going to find Aussie Girl Gamer, cutting her down. And now we are going to jump on board. I've seen some Molotovs going roof to roof.
Yep, right on the rooftops. I think that was Thanks for Dying on the other roof.
Yeah, we can see right now in that top left corner of your screen, Thanks for Dying being relatively low, retreating maybe a little bit lower into that building as well as a response. But this was a big thing that you talked about, Squigglepoof, was actually trying to get onto the roofs here.
Yeah, definitely important when you're in a city. I mean, the roof is probably the safest spot in the city.
And how do you try to play that position to maximize the amount of safety that you really do get out of it?
I mean, try to not over-peek too much, because it's a very easy headshot from somebody below you to shoot up at you when you're on the roof. So just don't over-peek, just play it safe. And yeah, I think you'll be set.
We are going to see Frankie and Rupee right now pitted against each other, but it doesn't look like any shots coming out from Frankie, but from positioning can kind of assume knows the location of Rupee. Now running away though from that potential engagement, getting very close here. Some shots coming into Frankie right now. No body armor to protect Frankie. Still does have that helmet. We are going to see Rupee right now with both the helmet and the body armor. Are they going to try to fight here? Jumping on though right now in a fight that is definitely going on. It's going to be Midnight up against Mask.
Yep, right in the residential area too. This is where the shotguns come out. When you're in house-to-house combat, like, shotguns come out. It's a scary thing.
We might see just that. Ultimate Dave Live going to get cut down by Flowers. Flowers has been doing an incredible job throughout this game, trying to increase that stat just a little bit more and go for another top 10 finish. If Flowers can do that, we'll be progressing to those finals on Sunday for $50,000. Midnight rotating around here. Is he going to find Mask yet again? These two were already engaged in a fight just a little bit earlier. Now Shadowmatic
K5 dangerously low on health too.
Able to get that elimination. We already did see it's K5 getting an early kill here, but now Shadowmatic doesn't look like going to be able to inch out of this one. Gets that smoke out, maybe jump back into the Jeep and try to drive off here. Not a good situation to be in though at all.
Yeah, looks like he's going to be okay. Looks like the smoke's going to help him out. And 5 kills already. That's actually very impressive.
Impressive indeed, but Crossover, one of the other players with an absolutely phenomenal kill rate, going to be able to cut down Shadowmatic, and now Crossover may be the player with the highest kills in this arena, and we are going to see Crossover getting back into that cop car. We talked about it, having that aggression has caused that cop car to lose quite a bit of health. But now one of the players to discuss yet again is going to be Flowers, but the main focal point is going to be just how small this ring has gotten. We had a lot of early kills coming out to start things off, and we actually do see Flowers is going to be leading in kills. Flowers with 4 kills here. But early kills came out. In the mid-game, it slowed down a little bit more than we expected, but now just a huge amount of bodies need to collapse onto this ring, and we can already see a lot of people trying to get those positions on the roof.
Yep, a lot of positioning on the roof. I think they're going to get pushed out of that, though. They're going to have to go a little bit to the east.
Yeah, we are going to see some of the players, though. Like, Thanks for Dying actually pitted up here. It looks like inside of, is he inside of a vehicle, or is he just actually under the environment?
And then we actually, under the bridge.
Yeah, I think he's under the bridge. But we do see, like, Roge, pretty good positioning here. And now we are actually going to see Thanks for Dying was under the bridge, but now he's about 6 feet under. Crossover able to take him out. And under the bridge with Crossover, he still does have that police car that he's had for quite some time. Pretty good line on 2 players here. May decide to move out, though, into a safer location. Some players still hanging out, though, in that residential area. And depending on the pool of this gas, they may have to be retreating into a different area as well.
Yeah, I definitely think they're going to get pushed out of residential. These two have been fighting for a while now.
Frankie, inside of that smoke right now, trying to get out of this situation, but Midnight should be able to just contest there. And oh, wow, we are going to see Ox move into that room. He is able to assert his dominance. Ox going to pick up that kill onto Mortem.
Yep. Also, Traditions and Flowers also just both picked up kills, too.
A1 Supreme going down, though, here. One of the players that we did highlight earlier, but it is going to be 2 Zoltan. Fix falling as well. Just 11 more kill. Oh, now we only...
Oh, Flowers taken up by Frankie, too. Oh.
10 of these players will be going home. 10 will advance to Sunday. Just 10 more kills remain until we know who it is going to be joining our previous 10 qualifiers from game number 1. Midnight inside of that Jeep. We already saw Midnight getting very aggressive a few seconds ago, trying to go for some of those fights. Now it's going to be Traditions around that cop car, looking for a fight of his own, but gonna get a shot sunk into him there. Now Lil Chun's rotating around, and look at this kit that we do have on Lil Chun's. We don't see any body armor.
No. Well, Manny taking a few shots.
Zoltan, we already saw Zoltan taking out Flowers recently.
Yeah, he's using the smoke as a little bit of cover. That's why smokes are so important, especially late game. If you don't have a good positioning area, smokes are amazing to pull out.
Top 18 now, and we are seeing that gas collapse. Lil Chun's going to be taken out by Rev. Rev was another player that we talked about quite a bit. Qualified into the Invitational last year. With a 9-kill win, I believe. We are going to see with the top 14, quite a few players getting cut out here. Lethal going to be one of them. These next 3 kills are very important, and we might see another one here. Now just 2 more players to be sent home. Staying alive here going to be absolutely crucial. Crossover still being quite aggressive. Ox inside of the bathroom.
Oh yeah, Ox and Darren are right next to each other.
The player who moves may reveal their position first. And we can see them kind of just rotating around, not wanting to take a step. Crossover going to be able to take out Slappy. Only 1 more player will be sent home. All the other 10 will be sent to Sunday. And it looks like Ox and Delta are going to be that powder keg. We are going to see that smoke dropped into the bathroom. Absolutely no vision here for Ox or Delta. Who is going to be the first to engage? We see Ox actually squatting down there. Oh, man. Evil inside so low. Could bleed out here.
Yeah.
Evil Inside, just like that, is able to hold on just barely. If Evil Inside is found by anyone, should be able to be cut out. Evil Inside's mission here just needs to be to hide. If
Yeah.
Evil Inside can hide long enough, but Evil Inside actually going to get up here,
Oh, he's
hopefully
actually
not
up.
exposing his position because Crossover is under this bridge. This is a bad fight to take,
Yeah.
but Evil Inside going to go for it anyway. Maybe doesn't even know that Crossover is there. Crossover going to be able to send Evil Inside home. We have our top 10 from game number 2. And just like that, the powder cake has erupted. We are going to see Darren now rotating out, trying to find that kill, getting some shots in from behind, getting pinched by 2, going to fall down. Makin able to take that kill. Drama's now lighting up Zoltan, and just like that,
Wow.
full Nelson going to be able to send home Klaas. We only have 7 remaining. Sabra able to get 4 kills so far in this game and looking for another, but at 31 health, not in the best position to do so. Drama's going to be cut down by Frankie, and now Frankie very healthy here, going to rain out some shots into the building. Helmet still is going to be secure on the head. Mocket Pawn getting some serious shots in though as well. Sabra was able to get so many kills here, but now Mocket Pawn going to be able to get the first one up on this board.
Yep.
We now have our top 5. Mocket Pawn inside of this building knows the exact location of Frankie. Frankie is going to be lower on health. Throwable is going to be traded out. Now on board with full Nelson right around this bridge, which Crossover. Hey, he has just been the bridge troll throughout the entirety of this match. Able to just get so many kills out here, but now full Nelson knows just that. Going to try to move away from that threat. Mocket in a bad position here, could get pinched, but using that building to a full advantage, we are actually going to see Frankie being able to take down Ox, and that's going to give Mocket some really good lines. Now the gas is going to force Mocket out of that building. Crossover taking down full Nelson. Mocket going to try to take out Frankie. Only 3 remain. Frankie going to be taken out by Crossover. Crossover with superb positioning here around the bridge throughout the entire later portions of the game. Who is going to be the one to contest first? We do see that smoke right now.
Wow,
going to be hard to
Crossover.
find that eye line. Crossovers right now trying to line up some shots here, and there's the wave coming out. I don't think that Mocket Bond going to be able to see it though.
Yeah, I mean, Crossovers has 9 kills right now. I mean, that's amazing. He could end this game with 10 kills.
It very well could happen here, but even finishing in second with 9, taking off the helmet. Crossover. Oh no,
What?
completely naked here, running in, and we are actually going to see that strafe coming in, able to dodge quite a few shots, and oh. Man,
Is this a standoff?
they're just gonna advantage. We have the 1v1. Let me hear you make some noise, California. It is all going to come down to this. Crossover versus Pawn from Mocket. Sheer respect coming out here. Who is going to come out supreme? Everyone stripping down to their undies.
Helmets off, all naked. Oh.
Whoever comes out on top here is surely going to be the best. This is a pure 1v1, waiting for everyone to be fully healthy here. I love the respect. Number 1, only for glory here. Do it in fashion. It is Crossover and our player from Mocket facing it off, punching it out. We have a brawl here, California.
Crossover is, already half his health is gone.
They're getting ready for Mighty Mouse to catch this one. They're going to battle it out, and it looks like Crossover is going to go down. Oh, but just like that, Mocket's still hanging on.
Back! Oh!
Congratulations to our 10 players from the qualifier, but give it up to our player from Mocket. An absolute beautiful brawl to close out game number 2. We will see all of those top 10 players advancing. We will see them on Sunday battling it out for $50,000.
Yeah.